Hello, welcome, and namaste, everybody. We welcome you all in our weekly follow-up meeting of UHV SIP Module 1, UHV 1. We have our source person, Lipta Rudy with us. Please, Lipta Rudy, you may start. Welcome, over to you.
Yeah. Namaste everyone. Am I audible, Parikshit Bhaiya? Hello?
Yes, we may start.
Okay. Okay. And can you see my screen also? Okay. Right. So let me welcome you. Namaste everyone. Let me welcome you on this follow-up session on SIP. It is the student induction program. Follow-up session on that. It happens every Wednesday between 7:30 and 8:30. So let me just reiterate the purpose of the student induction program. So just students are, entering the college with lot of pressure, lot of academic pressure, right? So, and now they are entering into higher education. So there is a need that we feel that there is a need to evolve as well-rounded human beings with clarity about life, clarity about relationships, clarity about the community they live in, the society, and the world at large. And and also to develop bonds with their peers, their seniors, the faculty, and to provide an exposure to a holistic vision of life, right? So to develop that awareness, to develop the sensitivity and understanding of the scope of life. And that is exactly the purpose of the society. So what we looked into so far, today we're going to explore this topic, ensuring health holistically. We did it last time, but then today also we are going to complete this session. Right. So let us have some interaction before we go on to the main session. So if any one of you would like to interact, would like to share your reflections about the last time if you have attended the session, or ask any questions, you are welcome to do so. Anybody would like to ask any questions? Or we can have some interaction about the last session or the last few sessions that we had. If you remember anything, we can interact, or I can maybe give a recap in that case, right? Okay. So what we're trying to do is through this SIP that we are placing some proposals before the students so that they can explore, they can self-explore, they can verify on the basis of their natural acceptance and experientially validate these proposals in their living. So which we fundamentally is an exploration into it so that the student can discover their full human potential and they can develop a holistic plan for realizing it, and they can take steps toward, right? So in this process, we try to discover our aspirations and in the process of discovering our aspirations, you also come across certain problems in life, certain concerns about life. So we try to articulate these concerns, right? And we looked into this that there are a lot of aspirations, but at the base of this, there are at the fundamental levels, we all human beings have certain basic aspirations, right? And we looked into this that that our basic aspiration is to be happy and be prosperous, and to that too in continuity, right? Uh, so we have to understand how can we fulfill these aspirations, right? And how we can resolve all our problems or our concerns. So we decide, we come to this, that we come to this conclusion that we need to understand first. We need to understand what we really trying to do. What is our role? Um, what is our role in this existence? What is our role as a human being, as an individual? What is our role in the family, in the society, right? So this process to understand is simply to pay attention, right? So if you see that, whatever we have paid attention to, that has revealed itself to us, right? For example, if maths seem to be difficult for us, but now we know it because we have paid attention to it. So we can easily do that. We can understand, we can realize our aspirations, and we can resolve our concerns just by paying attention. Paying attention, explore within ourselves, and understand that reality. So what we explored is that there is a need for this developing a holistic and humane world vision, right? And what is this world vision is that every student can reach to their full potential, as we said. And for this, we have to understand ourselves, understand how do we interact with other people, understand our participations within ourselves, with other people in society and in the entire nature in existence. And it is also possible to understand because the need to understand is innate in every human being, right? And we all have this potential to understand. This is intrinsic to human being, right? And if you look at the things that we need to understand, they are also essentially, they're actually definite. They're not indefinite, right? So we looked at our aspirations, what we want to achieve. And then we looked at our concerns, what we want to get rid of, right? We made a list of all this, and we looked at last in the last session we looked into what are our concerns, or what are our aspirations at the individual level. So we made a list of our aspirations, and we then also evaluated our efforts toward it. So we looked into, is our efforts towards understanding our basic aspiration, or it is to understand the root cause of all our concerns and resolve them? Or are we putting efforts to run away from the problems, to escape from the problems? Or is it for something else, right? So we evaluated these efforts, and we also, tried to understand, is, is it really our basic aspiration to be happy and prosperous, and that too in continuity? So whatever we're doing, we are trying to become something, we're trying to do something, get something out of it. So are these really our basic aspiration, or are these just the steps to achieve our basic aspiration? And we concluded that these are just the steps to fulfill our basic aspiration. Right. Right. Is there a question? Is there any question? Can we have some interaction? Is it possible? That would be really great to have some interaction. Right. So let me just continue then. In this effort, we also looked into what is happiness and what is prosperity, right? So we looked into what is happiness, so that to be in a state of when we are in a state of comfort, like, that is what is happiness. And when we are forced to live in contraction, that is what is unhappiness. We also looked at what is prosperity. So we looked at that the prosperity is a feeling of having more than the required physical facility, right? Uh, right. So, and also we looked into what is the and what are the things that we need for human beings. Physical facility is necessary, but relationship is also necessary, right? And that is the fundamental difference possibly between animals and human beings, right? So we do need a relationship. There's an acceptance towards a relationship, for relationship, but then we are not able to live in relationship. So for fulfillment in relationship, we concluded that it is necessary to have right understanding about relationships. So we said right understanding is also necessary for human being. So right understanding, relationship, and physical facility, all three are important. But what is the priority uh, about these three? And we concluded that yes, these all three are required. There is nothing that is redundant. And if we ensure all these three, then whether anything more is required or not. So we concluded that yes, all three are required, and the priority should be right understanding, then relationship, and then physical facility. Right? And with this, we look at the uh, aspirations at the individual level. So we asked you to categorize the aspirations and concerns at the individual level, and we looked into this aspirations and concerns at the individual level. And we also looked at what is the difference between excitement and happiness, right? So excitement that we get from pleasure, from favorable sensations, and also we want to get attention, appreciation from others, right? So, for example, eating delicious food, listening to favorite music, getting appreciation for looks or voice or clothes, uh, going for a thriller movie, right? Favorite team winning a match. We had a match yesterday, so we know how much we are thrilled to see that match. So we are, which is not definite, which cannot be continuous, right? Uh, so from the excitement uh, to the happiness, which is continuous, right? So which can be continuous, which can be definite. We need a right understanding, we need right feeling, and these two are important for shifting from this excitement to the happiness, continuous happiness, where we can ensure continuity, definiteness, and there is no fluctuation in our happiness, and there is no dependence also on the outside, uh, outside the situations or things. Okay. So in the process, when we are exploring this, to understand understand what is human being. So, and we saw that human being is coexistence of self and body. We tried to explore into it, and we are still exploring into it. We're saying that every self is endowed with the faculty of natural acceptance. Okay? And the body needs physical facility, and this need is temporary from time to time. And it is fulfilled by physiochemical things from the rest of nature. Whereas when you look at the happiness is the need of the self, which is my basic aspiration. And it is required all the time, which is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling in the self. Right? And we also looked at the activity of the self. So there is imagination going on in the self. When the imagination is in line with the natural acceptance, the self is in harmony. The self is in happiness. Right? And this imagination may be motivated by preconditioning, sensation, or natural acceptance. So when this imagination is fully guided by natural acceptance, the self is in harmony and there is continuity of happiness. And when the imagination is coming from preconditioning or sensation, it is unclear if one is in a state of happiness or unhappiness. And in such a state, one may succumb to preconditionings, get carried away by sensation, and have multiple unresolved concerns. So the state of the self is largely dictated by external influences. And what we're saying is that one is enslaved by one's own preconditioning or sensation and sensation. And in this state, the conduct of human being is also indefinite. It may be human or it may sometimes be inhuman also. So by making effort for right understanding, one can ensure the right feeling within, be free from enslavement, be self-organized, and be in a state of continuous happiness. In this way, our concerns get resolved naturally. So this is the recap that we did the last few sessions. If anybody has any questions or any interaction you may want to have, you can do that, right? Otherwise, we can proceed with the session that we want to complete today, right? So today's session is about ensuring health holistically. We looked into it last time, but then we will just recap it, a little bit of it. And if time permits, then we will go into the next session. So ensuring health holistically. So we want to make a definite program for health, and we are checking if it is possible to make a definite program for health or not. Yeah. So what we are saying is that we all aspire to stay healthy and are concerned about being ill. And when we understand human being comprehensively, we have the feeling of responsibility towards the body. We are able to make out the right program to keep the body in harmony and stay healthy. So let's explore into this. So we look into this, not going into the details again, but then let's look at this, right? So we looked at that are the body's physical facility, food, for example, right feeling, and the need of the body is fulfilled by physicochemical things. So when I have this feeling of self-regulation in me, then when I have this feeling of responsibility toward my body for nurturing, protection, and right utilization of the body, right? This is the feeling of self-regulation. Call it Sanyam in Hindi. So the feeling of responsibility toward the body for nurturing, protection, and right utilization of the body. So this is the feeling and the self. By having this self-regulation in me, I can ensure the health of my body. Right? So what do you mean by health? Health means that the body acts according to the self, and the parts of the body are in harmony. They're in order. Any question about this? Anybody like to interact a bit? This is not a monologue, this is a dialogue, so it would be good to have some interaction, if you like. or you can also respond in chat. Yes, I can see that Monty G is saying namaste. Yes, namaste to Monty G and all. We are interacting here. We are recapping the last session. Okay. Right. So with the feeling of self-regulation, health of a sick body can be restored, we are saying. Without the feeling of self-regulation, even a healthy body can become unhealthy. So check how many times you felt sick in the past 1 month and what was the reason for it. Right. I will just quickly glance through it. So what is this feeling of self-regulation? Saying that the body is an orderly system. It is in harmony. It is composed of trillions of cells, right? So these cells are forming tissues, organs, and then organ systems. And these are all for the harmony of the body. They are working in a complementary manner. So what I have to all I have to do is to ensure the continuity of this harmony. Or at least I do not disturb it. I hope you all would agree. Right. So with the feeling of responsibility toward the body, I do what is required for fulfilling that responsibility. And this ensures the health in the body. So out of self-regulation and health, which holds the higher priority for you? What do you think? Which one holds the high priority for you? Is it the self-regulation or the health? You can respond in the chat maybe. It's nice. Self-regulation. Nice. Right. Yeah. So we explored into this program for health. And we said that this for staying healthy, we need to ensure our intake, routine, which is lifestyle, and labor. Right? And if you're not able to do it on a regular basis, then you can go for exercise and postures, which we call uh, asanas, yoga asanas, and regulated breathing, which we call in the Indian system that we call pranayama, right? So for staying healthy, this can be our program. Intake includes air, water, sunlight, food, right? And all intake through our senses also, sound, sight, smell, etc. The rising time, the sleeping time, the eating time, these all comes under routine, a lifestyle. And labor is outcome of labor is production of physical facility, right? In the exercise, there is no physical facilities produced. If you are not able to, sometimes we may need some, there could be some disharmony, temporary disharmony, and we may need some medicine. And this medicines may not be the allopathy medicine, but the kind of things that we have in our homes that we can use to start with. And sometimes, we have to go for treatment, some drugs or some machines to perform the bodily function if we are not if the disharmony has deteriorated in the body. Right? So we looked into this, and here are some details about the intake. The details about what are the requirements for staying healthy. So we will look into the intake, routine, labor, what we meant by that. We'll detail it out, right? So intake includes, as we said, that all that we take in through our sense organs. Along with this, we also have feelings and thoughts in response to outside events or circumstances. So to maintain health, we're saying that intake of food that is not only tasty, but it is also nutritious and digestible, which is rich in fiber. Then intake of water in the right amount and at the right time, daily exposure to fresh air and sunlight. As we see that the students, especially students, they are mainly enclosed themselves inside the room. They don't have this fresh air. Mostly they are working at night and sleeping during the day time if they don't have colleges. So this important to maintain health. Even they say that the sleep that you have during the night, that is the quality of that sleep is far better than if you're trying to compensate during the daytime sleep. So awareness of choice of food, right? How much to eat, avoid distractions by other intake. So generally what happens is when we're having our meals, we are either watching TV or playing some games on mobile or talking, or maybe we are arguing with others. So by avoiding these things, avoiding these distractions during the intake, during when we are having food, that can help to maintain our health. Right. Any question on the slide? Any interaction? What do you want to have? Okay, so we proceed. Next one is the routine, the daily lifestyle, right? So our routine has an impact on the health of the body. We all know this. There are certain daily routines, then seasonal routine, as we know that we are in the summer and the next is the rainy season that is going to come. Then comes the winter. So how do we adapt to those seasonal routines and other life cycle routines, right? So when you look at the other life cycle routines, so routines and synchronization with nature, right? So we possibly we have actually we have gone through the circadian rhythm last in the last session, and we saw that how can we have the synchronization with the nature, with the sun rising time and the sun setting time. If we can balance this routine, then we are able to maintain health in the body, right? And with this, our daily routines. So you can check if that matters to you, what time you sleep, what time you get up, what time you cleanse your body, what time you study, eating time, all that. So all this comes under our routine, our lifestyle, and which has a lot of impact to maintain our health. So first we saw the intake, and the second is our lifestyle, the routine. The next one is the labor. So by ensuring adequate movement of the body, we can, and that is what we are calling as labor. And in that, we're also producing certain physical facility. There are certain examples here that participating in the household chores, production activities, for example, and any kind of production activities, the agriculture, the machine productions. Then sweeping and swabbing your room, your house, hostel, right? Can do kitchen gardening, then can go to college, cycling, right? So we can ensure this labor, which also produces physical facility. If you're not able to do labor, then at least you can ensure exercise, daily exercise. So ensure adequate movement of the body to compensate for the lack of labor. Even if you're doing labor, it may not be required to do exercises. So examples are walking, jogging, running, swimming, physical exercises. You may be doing all of this, or maybe a few of this at some point in time. So I might have done that. So how can we ensure this on a daily basis, right? Which can ensure health in our body. Any question here, everyone? Any question, any concerns you have here? Want to share anything about this? Are we able to maintain this health by ensuring intake, ensuring uh, a good lifestyle, and by ensuring labor or exercises? Yes. Next comes the postures, the breathing practices. So postures for regulating internal and external body organs, right? Not just external body organs, but internal body organs also, you can regulate them by having this yogasanas or certain postures. Also through breathing pranayama, right? Because there is an intake of oxygen and should go to the cellular level, right? And uh, they say that there are diseases also they can get cured by doing certain pranayams and yogasanas. And then the next comes the medicine. So if you're not able to bring your body to harmony from temporary disharmony, then there are certain home remedies that you can go for. There are other integrated systems of medicine. We have Ayurveda and in the Indian systems, right? From the past. So we can go for certain those remedies or those systems. And if you're not able to cure ourselves by medicine, then you can we use a drug or machine to perform our body work. There are insulin. You take insulin. There are diseases that you have to go for this dialysis. So we can go for this when you are not able to ensure health in the body, or there is temporary disharmony or some kind of dependence on the drug, right? So this is what it is. This talks about the priority. So first, staying healthy, intake, routine, and labor. If you're not able to make it in continuity, then you can go for exercise and uh, some pushes, yogasanas, and regulated breathing or pranayama. Next is the some kind of medicines that you can we can use from our home remedies, and otherwise need to go for treatment. Any question here? Any reflections here? The screen. Would you like to share something? Right. Yeah. This is 1A, 1B, and then 2, and then 3. This is the priority order for staying healthy. Okay, so let me just proceed. So what we are saying is that holistic perspective of health. So we said, you were saying is that mental health or health of the self, right? First is that. So healthy self and healthy body and healthy environment. So how can we ensure healthy self? By understanding the human being, understanding the self, we can ensure harmony in the self. How can we ensure the healthy body or physical health? By understanding our body, the anatomy of the body, harmony, and by ensuring harmony in the body. How can we ensure a healthy environment? So by understanding our environment, so our environment, we have a family, our society, our nature, and existence. So by understanding this environment, by understanding harmony in all these levels, we can ensure health of the. So these are the three the things that we can ensure for holistic. We can have this holistic perspective of health by having healthy self, healthy body, and healthy environment. Any sharings here? Any reflections? Any questions here? Yeah, it will be good to have some sharings. You can raise your hand maybe, and we can have some interactions. Okay, should I proceed? So you can have discussions on health of the family, of the friends, right? Discuss the food habits, daily routine, seasonal routine, collective labor, collective exercises, home remedies, all we can be part of our discussion for students, right? We can also discuss about the health of the society, the health of the institution that we are studying, uh, the routine and the hostel, the timings for healthy lifestyle, sleeping time, waking time, we can do that. Uh, the options for tasty and healthy food, we can be part of the team, mess organizing team, and we can ensure these healthy canteen, then juice stall, all these things we can ensure. So we can have this discussion and we can ensure our health, health of the family, health of the friend, our health, health of the society. Right? Any student here would like to interact? Can we do that? It's possible to do that in our institution, in our college. Like to respond in the chat. Anybody would like to respond in the chat? Can have some discussions. Okay. So with that, we have come to the conclusion, right? So we're saying that uh, there's some home assignments. You can take a note of this home assignment. So let me just read it out for you. So first assignment is that, are you able to see that a feeling of responsibility toward the body is required for your health to be ensured? So share 3 instances from your life where your body became unwell due to lack of attention to the feeling of responsibility towards your body. Can do that. The next exercise is about, next assignment is about reflect on the program for health. Are you able to see the significance of the intake and daily routine? So two instances from your life, you have avoided getting sick by taking the right kind of food. I hope you all will be able to uh, do this, right? And will be able to share. Also share 2 instances from your life where you became unwell because your routine was upset. I think not just students, but also elders, we all uh, can share these instances. Is there anybody who would like to share any instances out of this reflection on the program for health? You are welcome to do so. The third assignment is the topic of staying healthy necessary to be included in your education? Yes, right? Is the topic of staying healthy necessary to be included in your education, in your campus life? So suggest in what form it can be included in education by teachers, by the management, the counseling courses. Do you need any kind of courses? Right? Next is suggest ways and means it can be implemented by you, other students, or what in campus life, in the club, hostel, mess, canteen, or any health center. So nice home assignments for you. And I hope you have taken a note of this and we can go to the question answer session. So if you have any question, we can do some interactions and explore into your questions. I'll just pause for a few seconds. And if you have any question or want to interact, you can do so. And then we can go to the next topic. We don't have any question. Okay, so let me stop here and we go to the, so we have almost, 10, 12 minutes, so we can maybe go on to the next topic. Let me just share that with you. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you. Okay, so Renu ji is asking, keeping fast is good for health or not? Yes, it is. It is recommended that can keep fast as long as your body allows you. Can do that. Yes, Renu ji. It's been said in Ayurveda also, and in today's medicine also, they say that they call it, what do they call it? Autophagy, right? So you can keep your body rest so that it can heal by itself. Right? You can take suggestions from your doctor. How is your health condition? And on that basis, you can take your decision. Nice, thank you. Anybody else? Or shall we proceed towards next session? Right. So next session is about fulfillment and relationship. So we'll look into this feeling of trust and resolving anger, irritation, fear. Saying when we have this feeling of trust, we can resolve this anger, irritation, fear. Right? Uh, so anybody would like to interact about the last session? Otherwise, I can proceed. So what do you think? So we looked into this home assignment, so no need for that. So what do you think? Should we talk about relationship? Should we understand relationship or not? What do you think? We can see that there is so much of unhappiness in the families today. So should we be talking about relationship? Yes. Yeah. Can I have some responses in the chat? Should we be talking about relationship? Should we understand relationship or not? What do you think? What do you think? Should we? Okay. Right. So in the previous sessions, we had explored for human being facilities necessary. Relationship is also necessary. And to live with fulfillment in relationship, we are saying that right understanding of the relationship is also necessary, because we are not, in spite of the acceptance about the relationship, we are not able to live in relationship. We are not able to have this fulfillment in relationship. So the right understanding of the relationship is also necessary. So we have checked it in the earlier sessions, but you can check again. If the unhappiness in our families or amongst our friends is more due to lack of physical facility, or is it more due to lack of fulfillment in relationships? You can check that, right? So you can check within yourself. If you want to, respond, and respond in the chat also, or you can come ahead and you can share also. So if you look at the major issues in the families today, amongst our friends today, we can see that in order to live in relationship, it is necessary to understand relationship. Without understanding the relationship, it is difficult to live with fulfillment in relationship. Time and again, we are saying that we have to understand. We have to understand relationship if we have to live with fulfillment in relationship, right? So this is what we are trying to explore today. So we're exploring how we can ensure harmony in the family. In that, we are saying that relationship is, right? So relationship is between oneself and another self, right? So what do you think? Is it between oneself and another self, or is it between one body and another body? What do you think? Is the relationship between oneself and another self, or is it between one body and another body? Yeah. Can I have some responses here? So Reni is saying that it is between one self and another self, right? Nice exploration, Renu. Right. Another proposal here is that there are feelings in a relationship. So what do you think? Right? We all know that we all have seen this, that there are feelings in relationship. So what do you think? Are these feelings definite? Are these feelings definite? And can we talk about these feelings with definiteness? Right? Can we discuss about these feelings with definiteness? Or are these feelings abstract? What do you think? Are these feelings abstract? And we cannot talk about these with definiteness? What is your view about it? Right? For example, when I utter this word mother, there must be certain feelings that comes up in your in you associated with that word mother, right? Similarly, when you utter some words about any relationship, for that matter, you feel some feelings about that person. So what do you think? What do you feel about these feelings? Can we discuss them with definiteness? Or do we think that we can't discuss about them? They are abstract. We can feel the feelings, but we can't really discuss about them, right? So let's see what everybody feels about this. Can we discuss about this? Are these feelings definite, or do you think that are these feelings abstract? Okay, so there is one more statement that says that uh, that these feelings are definite, right? And there are 9 feelings. Okay, and further, when we fulfill these feelings, we express them with the other. We evaluate that these feelings reach the other, that leads to mutual happiness. Okay. So when I ensure these feelings within me, then I express it to the other. So first, when I ensure these feelings within me, I am happy. I'm in harmony within me. And then when I express this to the other and I evaluate this with the other, then the other can also be happy. In that sense, it can lead to mutual happiness. Right? So there are 4 statements here. Relationship is between oneself and another self. There are feelings in relationship. in oneself for the other self. And these feelings can be recognized and they're definite. There are 9 feelings: trust, respect, affection, care, guidance, reverence, glory, gratitude, and love, as you can see on the screen. And the last is that their fulfillment and evaluation leads to mutual happiness. Right? And we use the body to express the relationship. And these 9 feelings are naturally acceptable to me. They're naturally right for me. Any reflection here? Anybody would like to reflect here? Are you able to see that there is a relationship between oneself? Relationship is there between oneself and another self, right? We have feelings. And what do you think about these 9 feelings? Do you see that these feelings can be recognized? They can be, we can understand them in their definiteness. We can ensure these feelings within us, right? And we can express these feelings with the other, right? Which brings mutual happiness. So I think it's time already. 5-6 minutes are remaining. I'm not sure if we can go ahead with this feeling of trust, which is the foundation value. But if we can have some interaction, that would be good, I guess. So anybody would like to interact? Anybody have any question about this relationship or about the previous sessions that we had? You're welcome to do so. We can ask any question. Do some interaction.
Hello.
Yes.
Namaste, Didi. This is Shashi Binani here.
Yes, yeah.
I just have a question here. Since you said relationship, I was just having discussion with my daughter, and she last week we attended one FDP. I was a co-facilitator in one of that. So she also attended with me. Then there was a role play by Umesh Bhaiya, and where they were kids were put up as I mean the main. They did the role play. They asked that, what do you expect from my parents? So she was telling me, Mama, you know, I wanted to say that keep parents should also ask kids that what do they want. They should not impose something like that. I want my child to do engineering. I want my child to do this. So that should not be imposed. So I said, why didn't you ask? She said, no, I didn't know whether I could ask that. So I want to know, if a child says something like this, okay, and parents are in opposition, parents has some expectation to the child that the child should do something like that. How do you address this? This is what kind of I mean communication you should be having it, because this is live example for me.
Is right, Shashiji. So nice
Yes.
question. We all are parents.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's an important question for us. So what do you think,
Yes.
Shashiji? What is
uh,
naturally acceptable to you?
Definitely it is like I would definitely give my child to take a call. Okay.
Right.
But again, when I say that, I have a doubt on my child's competency to decide right and wrong for herself. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know whether I'm right or wrong to say that. I'm wrong to say that I don't trust my child, or I don't believe that my child can take a right call. But then how do we assess that our child is taking a right call?
Right. Now, can you ensure that if you take the call on her or his behalf, you will be always right?
If I no, I will not be. Definitely, I will not be right.
Right. So we have to give that opportunity, that space to the child that they can also be wrong. What if
It,
they're wrong? So
okay. Okay.
once I understand what is my basic aspiration, that's what we say. Once I understand,
Uh-huh.
I need to, my basic aspiration is happiness and prosperity. Now, there could be
Yes.
many paths. And if I fail in
Yes.
one of the paths, I can always choose another path. But my basic
Yes.
aspiration doesn't change. So we have to give that space to our children, because we cannot ensure that. Have we done the right things in our lives? So we have done so
Okay.
many
Yeah.
things,
Okay. Understood.
change path. So they can also do that, maybe, right?
Yes. Okay. Because, yeah, now I can relate it better, because when they were doing role play, there was a question from one of the participants saying that, suppose I'm a parent. Now, suppose I have not succeeded in one of the field. Let's say I wanted to be a doctor, but I'm not able to be a doctor for whatever reason. I have failed, or I tried all my efforts to be doctor. I couldn't. Now I want you to do something like that. So how is it? I don't want you to do something like, because I failed in that effort. So what was her answer? It is not necessary you failed, so I will also fail.
Yep.
Which I was a little shocked there, but then since then I had this question, and today when she asked me this, I said, okay, I have an opportunity. I'm attending also. Let me ask if I get a chance. So
Yeah.
this is like, okay, fine. So what you said is right. So when I can also take a wrong decision when I know that I can be wrong. So she also
Yep.
needs to be given enough space to understand the what do you say, the reality, or the understanding her aspiration and happiness.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we
Yes.
also, if you choose on her behalf and then she
Hmm.
fails, she will always blame you. But when she
Yes.
chose and chooses, and she knows that I have chosen this, so it is the responsibility that she gets. Uh,
Correct.
that is
Yes.
different.
Yes.
And we all have this natural acceptance. If we can explore this,
Yes.
this is what we are saying, that we can. It does not depend on any age, right? Age
Yes.
is not
Yes.
criteria. So every human
No.
being
No.
has natural acceptance. Every human being
Correct.
has this potential uh, to realize their full potential. They have this ability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes. Yes.
only what we can do is we have to ensure that they build their competence.
Correct.
How
So
can
it's
we
like
help them?
guide them.
Right,
Guide them, like, yeah.
right,
Okay.
guide them.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for clearing my doubt also. Thank you so much, Didi. Thank you.
Right. So I think we can conclude the session, right? So we explored this the remaining part of the health, and then today we explored a little bit of family values. And next, in the next session, we will be exploring the feeling of trust. Everyone for your presence. Thank you. Namaste, everyone.